Greetings. I am Tony Chappelle, and this is TKC Photography, Episode 2. I am going to go over today some edits from a headshot that I took, just some quick edits, and I'll show you how I start to finish and end. I'll be using the program Lightroom Adobe and Photoshop Adobe, and we'll be bouncing between the two so you can see what I do. If you look at this particular picture that I took already, this is a great shot. So this is a shot that I love, and I'm happy with this particular shot. Is some things I can change? Yes. If you look here, I could actually remove this if I would like. I think I'm gonna leave it today, but depends on how I feel. The model does have a few blemishes on her face, and I want to see the blemishes here, so I want to remove these blemishes. Also notice that she has something white in her hair on both locations. So when you're doing edits, you want to take your time, but you can do quick edits if your picture looks pretty well. You do your look over your picture. So this particular picture I took, the composition is great, the lighting is great on this, and so I can go ahead and do a quick edit and get it out the way. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start with the eyes. That's what I like to do. Many other photographers, they'll start other ways, but I like to start with the eyes first, and then what I do, once I finish the eyes, I go to Photoshop to take care of the blemishes, bring it back to Lightroom, and start working skin tone and stuff of that nature. So here we go, guys. So I see here, so this particular shot was used by a ring light. That's where you get the ring light. So you get the effect of the headshot, you brighten those eyes, that's what the ring light, that's what the ring is in there. So we like to keep those in there, but her eyes are perfect, guys, on this. Now, some photographers will whiten the eyes of here. In this particular case, we don't really need to do so. The white looks good in here, but you'll have cases where that might look a little yellowish, almost jaundiced, but you can actually whiten this up. So if you fall into a case where that happens, then you will go to this wand button at the top right below the histogram here, and you'll click on this just like this, and it will click on where it says the effect bar. You'll click here and go to teeth whitening. Two forms of way you can do it. You can do a teeth whitening, and I'll show you guys here what it will do. So it'll whiten up the eyes of the nature. Now, in this particular case, as I stated before, you don't really need to do that. So let's remove that. So that's the first way that you can do it. The second way you can do it, you'll go here and you'll use the iris enhance. So you click on the iris enhance, and what that will do is just brighten up what you already have here. So it'll just brighten up just a little bit what you already have. It's another formal way of doing it, just to brighten up your eyes just a little bit. So as I stated before, we do not need that. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to, all right. So there we go. We're going to click off that, and then we're back here where we begin. So I really don't have to do anything to my eyes because I already stated what I like. But let me show you if I was to change the iris part of the eye, if I make it brighter or darker. So I will go back to the wand to the right, and it's already on iris enhance. So if it wasn't, you would just click on this bar and go to iris enhance. So you'll go here. And so what you want to particularly do is you want to size your bar to where you want to go. So what I do is when I know I want to hit it just right, I hit O on the keyboard, and then I start to go around. So what O does, it shows you what you're actually coloring in or going over. So that way you know you're hitting the mark, or if you're going over or interrupting the rest of the photo. So there you go. So I don't particularly like that, so I'll go down to the erase, and then I clean it up just a little bit. So, all right. So there you go. I cleaned it up to where I am satisfied with it. And then I'll hit O again just to preview. So it just lighted just a little bit, and that's what it like. Now, if I wanted to go higher or darker, I'll go back over to the bar while this is still lit, and I'll go mess with the exposure. The exposure is already at 0.35. Maybe I would like to see just a little bit more. So I'll lighten up just a little bit. See how it changed? Or if I want it to be darker, I can go back down to darker. But I want the eyes to pop, so I'm going to keep it around a 35-40 on where we were. So let's say 35. You can change the contrast and the whites and shadows as well. And plethora of things you can do. So once I'm done, I'm going to go back to the wand and I'm going to click on it. And I'll go to the second eye over here. Once I go to the second eye over here, I see this portion right here that I need to lighten to match what I already have. So what I do is I'll click on the wand. Once I click on the wand, the iris enhance is already there. So back again, I'll hit O to make sure I'm seeing the color that I'm actually coloring in. There you go. So I'm doing as quick as I can, guys. The color right there, and then if the outline it gets in, you go to the erase. Take the erase, you erase to where you need to be, and then O again to check it out to see if that's where you want it, and that is where I want it. I want it between 0.35 and 0.40. So there you go. I am good to go. Back to the wand, click on it all, so I'm set. Click back off. So once I did that, I did my eyes. I did not change the outside of the eye or whiten it, but I kept it the way it is. So now I'm going to Photoshop so I can take some of the blemishes off that I have. So what you'll do is you'll go to Photo at the top of your screen, and you'll go down to Edit In. Once you go down to Edit In, it'll go to another bar, Edit in Adobe Photoshop. So you'll go in there. This may pop up or it may not. So if this does, you want to keep the Lightroom adjustments that you already made, because you can send an original copy which doesn't have the adjustments in the eyes, or you can have the light adjustment. So what I do is I keep the light adjustment that I already made and I hit Edit. Once I hit Edit, it'll go to where I need to be. Boom, there I go. I'm in Photoshop here. So now that I'm in Photoshop, so we were talking about removing blemishes. So I really don't have a particular order I like to go off, but I would say start top to bottom of what you see and watch the detail. So to zoom in to certain things, you'll hit the Command or Shift key, and the plus or minus sign. So I want to zoom in, so I'll Command plus, and it'll zoom in to where I can see this a little bit better. Once I'm at an area where I can see a little bit better, then I can clean up some of the things that I would like to see cleaned up. So next you will go to this little side. It almost looks like a Band-Aid, and rightfully so. As you see, I'm on here, spot healing brush. So there you go. Now if you click on the little small arrow here, it will drop down and give you other actual things, but we're going to work the spot healing brush today. So now it will drop down and give you a couple more things, as I stated before, but as you see, that's what it does. As you see, we'll watch it again, it's removal. So here, the first thing you'll do is you'll size it to where you need to be sized. So you can go up here and play with the hardness, the softness, and it's just as it seems. Hardness, it just is harder. But when you're looking at a Headshot, you want to be an editorial, nice, smooth skin, move the blemishes nice. So I typically keep the hardness at 100, spacing at 25, and then I will meet whatever the size of the blemish that I have. So right here, I see a blemish. There you go. I'm clicking on it, and I'm removing blemishes. You can also drag all blemish, so you can do it. Let's say I want this and I want to drag it. So I can drag it and move it. So when you have a model such as this that has not too many blemishes on the face, it is a good thing to edit. But you will have some clients or some models who you have to clean up. And I will do a later video on how to do multiple blemish removals. But as of today, we're going to go over just a little small. So the nose, I see still some blemishes, so I'll click on it. Click on it here. So what I am catching, I want to remove. So close by the eye, I want to remove, keep that nice and clean. I can even clean this up if I want, for where her hair is. And I can remove some more of her hair to make it more of edged out for her. So all the way down, guys. So there you go. I'm clicking on here. As I said, you can drag. So boom, just like that. See me dragging. I'm dragging. I'm removing, and my skin softener will clean the rest. But as far, I want to make sure I'm getting the detail of what I want to remove already, so we can clean the face up. You can already see the results, guys, of what it looks like with a clean face and what we started with. Here, I'm still removing some of, and these are just some of the pores that's open, and I just want to remove it. And still, it still gives that natural look. I'm not over doing it where it's not natural with my blemishes and doing so. It still gives a natural look. So I want to do things of this nature. So, all right, I'll see above the eye. I see a couple of little spots I'd like to remove above the eye. I need to zoom back out. So I'll zoom out here to make sure I got what I needed for a face. And I see around the lips, I have a few more things that I need to do. So there you go. Around the lips. As you can see, guys, it is turning out to be very clean now. Zooming back out, I will drop down to where her neck is and zoom in and remove these blemishes that we have here. So that's starting to look really good, guys. Really good. Even I'm checking the hand, shoulder over here. So I want you to remember that you are going to be your biggest critic when you're doing this. So look at those details, zoom in, have a once over. Sometimes you might have to walk away and come back and look at something when you edit it, when you're trying, especially when you're trying to do something for a client, or you're actually doing something for publication or anything like that. So as you can see, I fixed the hair, had a couple spots in the hair, wanted to fix, and we fixed those. So now that's pretty much clean how I would like it to look. Now I can send it back to Photoshop. So what I will do, I'll go up to the top, and then I will file, save. Once I hit file, save, it sends the new copy back to Lightroom. Click back over to Lightroom as it loads. So, as you see, this is the new version of what I have, and you also see two versions of the photo. So that's the original photo coming up as we load up with the blemishes. As you can see, this is the original form with the blemishes that we have here. Blemish here, blemish, blemish. And then the photo that we just edited. right here. So the photo we just edited right here. So that is the change I would like to see. Now I'm going to do a slight skin softening. So I will do some skin softening. So same ordeal. I'm going to click over here to the wand to the top right, and then I will go to skin softening light. This is what I particularly use, guys. I don't really use the soft skin at the top with the softer skin because to me it just does too much. It makes it almost like cartoonish. Now you do have photographers who make stuff cartoon, and that's great. Work is great, but I particularly go for the skin softening light. And so what I'll do is I'll click on here, and it'll automatically default to what it is, and you can change the texture, clarity, exposure, all those. And then same ordeal, guys. You want to hit O on your keyboard, and then so that way you can see what you're actually coloring in. You can widen it out so it's quicker. What I particularly like to do, I do not like to cover the nostrils at the bottom because I want to keep as much detail in my picture as possible. Because what skin softening does is just like what I said, it is basically blurring out what you already have the skin. So I like to be careful. I never cover the mouth. I like to get underneath the mouth. I do get the neck and area here, just like this. So go over. And I'm able to do it as quick because I've done this over and over. So, and the same way I would zoom in as I'm doing it. I want to make sure I get every piece of how. So I'm just covering it here, watching how I trace the eyebrows and edge of the hair. So this is what I'm doing. So I want to show y'all guys. So I'm following the line of the eyebrows and her makeup. I want that makeup to stay there. So I don't want to think, so I want that makeup to pop and keep the detail in my photo. So there you go, guys. I'm tracing it. Let's go back out here, as you can see. Zooming down to where I need it to. And it's a good practice to make sure that you're seeing what you're actually doing. I do have some photographers who rather just not do it that way, and they can actually mark what they're doing. You see what I just did? So I covered over the eyebrow, right? So if I don't want to do it, same thing. Go back to erase and trace where I covered over the eyebrow. Here, hit the A button to resume actually coloring in. So let's get what we can get, guys. So I'll clean up what I am doing. So I am going to trace the lips, but I'm not going to get, I'm going to get the outline of the nostril, but I will not be getting the inside of too much. So I like to see the detail. And I like to keep that detail in there. All right, same thing with the hand. I'm going to now get everything I need to get, guys. All right. I do color over the necklace. You don't have to. You can be detailed in it, but this particular headshot, it would not matter. It's not going to affect what I'm trying to do. And I'm gonna go back up here and tighten this up just a little bit right here. I like to go into the hair just a little, just so it looks even once it's done of the editing. Right above the eyebrow, guys. All right, so here I did have a spot where I saw that I went over in the actual, so you can see here I went over it, but that's what I wanted. But this is where I'm going to remove. So I'll go to erase, and then I'll remove from the eyebrow, so I'm not affecting the eyebrow how I want. Back and back out that way, and then I'll hit O, And as you can see, the skin tone has changed on this particular picture. I am satisfied for what I'm looking at. If you're not, then you can make your adjustments how you need to make your adjustments. Hit the wand button to make sure that I'm locked in and no changes. Now, can I export the picture as it is? Yes, I can. I can export it as it is, but I'm not going to do that. So what I like to do also is add just a little presence. So when I mean presence, I mean here, presence, texture, and clarity. So I particularly like to push my texture up to about 20 to 30% on this wheel. So I'm going to go, I'm going to show you the difference. So here, I'm going to go all the way down, and you can see how the picture is. And then as I go up, you see the detail start to come. So today, I'm going to be at about a 30, 31 for my texture. And then I keep my clarity about between 5 and 8 when I'm already at the 30. So therefore, I'm not messing with the skin softening that I've done, but I'm also keeping it nice and soft, her face nice and soft, the picture nice and soft, bringing out her highlights as well with her lips, her eyes, her eyebrows, and also her hair. And that was make a great picture to me. So once I'm done with that, could I export it like this? Yes, I can. But I like to use presets as well. And I can use a preset on here to change certain things that I've already done. So I'm going to show you that. So I'll go here. And what I mean by presets, this is a type of preset that you can actually make your own. I made my own presets and basically a preset sets the tone just like that. So it changed how the picture looked. I do not like how that looks on it. So this is certain presets that okay, and you can see how the picture changes as certain presets go on a picture. So what I've already done looks really well, and I can produce and send to my client as a headshot. And if I'm particularly want to do, like I said, presets, then I'll go here. This is a go-to I like to do. It's something that I have one created already, but it lifts the shadows out of the picture. It makes it look kind of antique. It makes it pull out. So I like that. But like I said before, I want those colors to pop. So I'm going to leave it just as it is. Now, these particular colors that she had, there's ways to change them, and you can do it in your presence as well. You have here, you got your vibrance and saturation. If you want to play with your vibrance, this is what vibrance do. It'll make the whole picture do in a certain way. So if you want to mess with that, I do not. So I want to undo on what I've done. So it sends me back to where I'm at. So then if I want my saturation, I can actually add saturation. And this is what saturation means, guys, right here. You play with this, saturation. I do not particularly want to do that. So I'm going to undo my saturation. So once I'm there, I can actually scroll down. And this is where you can mess with the colors, the hue, saturation, and the luminance. So here you can see that she has particularly red. I could take the red bar and I can pop that red on her lips. Everybody see how those lips pop up in red? So her lips popped up in red. Maybe that's not what you wanted. You want a little subtle red, so you'll just bring it down just a little bit with a blush. You can bring that down from there. So these are like your color bars that you can use when you're actually doing a picture and get the thing. It takes practice, guys. So, I also take stock photos and I practice on stock photos. I'm always perfecting my craft in some type of way. And this is how you do it. I appreciate y'all guys for tuning in, listening to me while I show you how to do edits. And I look forward to producing more videos and you watch it. Thank you so much. If you have not done so, please like, share, and subscribe. Love you guys.